Hi everybody, and welcome to this short video on conscious conversations. In this little video clip I wanted to introduce the Enneagram to you. Many of you will be familiar with it already, but many perhaps are not. So I wanted to give a brief overview of what this model is. It's a deceptively simple model. It has a lot of depth to it, which is not apparent at first sight, but it's essentially describing 9 personality styles, each with a specific pattern of behaviour that they exhibit. And each of us tends to hone in on one of those personality styles. It tends to be our central theme in how we look at the world and how we show up in the world. And our habitual patterns of behaviour start to emerge from that. So the 9 styles, although they are separate in a sense, have lots of interconnections amongst them. And some of them are quite subtle and some of them are less so, but they tend to blend into each other to some extent. So the model itself doesn't just describe behaviour, it actually speaks to the motivations of behaviour. It starts to give strong clues in terms of the why of behaviour. Why is it that somebody shows up in a certain way? So it goes a little bit beneath the surface in that sense and gives strong indications of the worldview of individuals, including what their assumptions about themselves and others that turn into beliefs, what they pay attention to in the world, how they make sense of the world. And each of the styles has a high side and a low side. This is the concept of integration, high integration or low integration. So we can, if we're at a high side, on our highly integrated end of the spectrum, then we tend to be at our best, at our most effective in whatever it is that we're up to. On the low side, however, it tends to be the opposite. It's a sort of darker side of behaviour. The things that get in our way, the repetitive patterns of behaviour that show up, in which we get stuck, that cause us to find life difficult and not so easy, or in a highly stressed context, tends to show us our blind spots and those repeated patterns of behaviour that have been with us almost forever, from early childhood perhaps, that at one time served us well, but perhaps now are not necessary, but they are unconsciously present, and so we keep repeating them. So the Enneagram, it has value in the sense of self-awareness. It shows us our resources, our potentials, our natural skills and growth areas, but it also shows us what gets in our way. What are our tripwires? What could we work on in order to become more effective in our lives, in our professional lives as well as personal? And it's a great self-awareness tool that can be used with individuals, teams, groups, and even at an organizational level. So that's a brief introduction to the Enneagram. Perhaps in future sessions we can do a slightly deeper dive into these styles, but that's essentially what this model is about. It's a central theme in our 5 lens assessment and model that we use in our business. Thank you. I hope to see you again in the near future.